On September 29th, 2012, my legs gave out. I fell to my knees on a thin trail in the North Cascades. My hiking partners walked ahead. My muscles sang out as 70 pounds of weight fell to the ground, blisters filled with fluid. I couldn't rise, I couldn't cry out. I sat down on sharp rocks and took small sips of air. It was only the second day of a week-long backpacking trip. Already, I had failed. How many of you have at least one fear? In that moment, I feared I wasn't strong enough. There was no possible way I could carry on. A body is only so strong, and for me, what I was carrying was too much, physically, emotionally, mentally. I knew I'd never make it. I knew I'd failed myself and my companions. A sense of dread swept over me, and the reality of failure set in. After 10 minutes, my breath returned. My eyes were red and puffy from crying. Ranger Rick sat down beside me and said, "I want you to imagine yourself at the end of this trip. What do you see?" And in that moment, when I was so scared and so defeated and so exhausted, a choice appeared. Was I going to quit my journey or push through my pain? In our society, we do two things. We worry about what others think of us, and we associate fear with weakness. When those combine, a toxic brew erupts. It's risky to be open and share our personalities and feelings, aspirations, insecurities, and the battle scars we earn from life. When we are honest about any of those things, we open ourselves up to judgment and ridicule. From a young age, we learn avoidance behaviors that hide the fullness of our personalities. To collapse on that mountain trail revealed my limitations to people who I'd only known for hours. I was humiliated. I hung my head. We often conceal these perceived darker traits and never talk about them, or even really acknowledge they exist. We need to understand that all of those things make up your own unique identity. We should be talking about our fears to people we trust as a way to round ourselves out as human beings. When we don't talk about what really frightens us, fear multiplies and infects our self-esteem and strength. It begins to win. In the most severe cases, fear can manifest itself into substance abuse, eating disorders, depression, damaged relationships, suicide. Most commonly, though, fear can dictate our day-to-day choices and prevent us from doing the wonderful things life offers. Maybe the fear of instability keeps you in a dead-end job. Though it's not your heart's desire, the job offers security. Maybe we choose safe relationships because we're afraid of rejection. Maybe it's hard for us to connect with new people because we're afraid of judgment. But then again, maybe there's a way to be stronger. I understand, it's hard. But the world needs people who love their jobs, not people who dread going into work on Monday morning. The world needs people who aren't afraid to connect with others. Although great minds may think alike, different minds can combine to create great ideas. Working through our fears is scary, but it allows us to become better people. Nearly a year ago, I shared my sorrows with a group of gritty, stinky hikers, and they embraced me and my fear. We kept walking together. On that mountain, I was given a choice. Either let my fear win or defeat it. Now, I know it's cliche, but this trip, WWU, acts as a freshman orientation to Western Washington University. And for me, it represented the beginning of a new chapter of my life. Not only was I backpacking, which I had never done before, I was with people who I didn't know, in a place I'd never been, mentally preparing for college, which in itself is a little bit scary and intimidating. I was so scared of failing. But I knew in my heart, failure wasn't an option. I was buoyed by my hiking mates. Their support pushed me onward. I took action by setting small goals, 1 step, 2 step, 1,000 steps. Tiny little minutes seemed an eternity, longer than I'd ever known before. Distance and time warped, but finally I'd hiked a mile. Only 1 million more to go. But most importantly, 40 miles later, I made it to the top of the final peak, and I couldn't stop smiling. My hiking mates inspired me to keep on walking. And my inner strength, a strength that I know every single person has, propelled me onward. Now, I can't guarantee your life will be perfect, mostly because I'm not a fortune teller, but also because bad things are bound to happen. I want you to choose to believe in yourself. Choose to feel your optimist rather than to allow your sorrows to gain purchase. Choose to talk about your fears. You always have a choice. You can choose to forget everything and run, or you can choose to face everything and recover. Thank you.